Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about the experience of upgrading your business, upgrading your life, and I'm specifically here to talk about the business upgrade program. And I've got a few things I'm really excited about sharing and wanting to open up. First of all, a conversation and perhaps a whole lot of awareness for you on this topic. And then, secondly, I'd love to give you the experience, what that this call is meant to be, which is not just a cognitive experience. One of the greatest things that I'm just such a firm believer in now is we must work at all three levels of mind, body, and energy to create change and to create change quickly. And I think you can start to tap in and you start to really receive and perceive the difference when you are working with modalities or coaches or healers that are able to give you those three levels of information, healing, mentorship, activation, whatever it is, that is allowing you to receive and integrate at all three levels of mind, body, and energy. As opposed to if you think about when you do things or when you have learned things or you have tried to implement things in your life or your business and you've done it from one level. For example, you have cognitively heard of or learned a concept and you've tried to apply it in your life, or you have tried to energetically expand into a different area in your life, but physiologically, physically, it did not feel safe. Your nervous system did not feel safe. It did not feel regulated. And therefore, even though you wanted to step into a new space energetically, your physical body was like, nah, that is not safe. We are not going there. So that is an example of when we don't include and incorporate all three levels of mind, body, and energy, what happens, which is, in my personal opinion, it's just slow. Change is slow, transformation is slow, and the results are slower. All right. And conversely, that's why when you are hitting all those three levels of mind, body, and energy, when your needs are being met at a physiological level, at a neurological level, when your traumas, your past programming is being addressed, and you are looked at and you are being served in a very holistic way, it's then very easy to understand why change can be 5 times faster, 10 times faster, 100 times faster. So this is something I want to bring into the conversation today. And the other thing I'd like to bring in is why now? Okay, why now and why business upgrade? So, first of all, a very warm welcome to everyone that's here, whether you know me or not, whether you have done any of my previous calls or sessions or classes or not. My name is Dr. Adila Rafiz, and I have spent at this point well over a decade. I think it's heading to 12, 14 years of specializing in mind, body, energy modalities and really bringing those three things together. My background, I was a chiropractor, I was a holistic practitioner for many, many years. And when I finally realized that there was so much that was still not working, especially when it came to business, I had to really start to look at this. And this is now the conversation I'd love to bring to you today is why now and why business upgrade. So let me speak to that for a minute, and then I'd love to take your questions and your comments on this. But I absolutely believe that right now there is this increased anticipation and this increased desire. This is what I sense. This is what I perceive. This is the feedback that I'm getting from people all over the world, that they really want to create the change in their life that they've been asking for a long time. I also really feel like the external world, our external environment, is finally getting us to a point where we must make a choice. We must make a choice because it's getting so loud and it's getting so It's getting so demanding when the world is saying to us, you're going to be going through a recession this year, or you're going to be struggling, or because you have got a degree and you now need to work for somebody else for 12 hours a day for the next 5 years, and then you can get a promotion, and then you can be promoted again and again and again. And it's going to take you 25 years to get to a place where you are comfortable in your life, where you have enough money, where you're able to feel like you have authority over your time and energy, because you're at a senior management position or you are at a level of perceived authority in whatever industry that you are working in. Even with healing and facilitation work, coaching work, there is this need to really do it the hard way and to do the hard yards to then prove that you are able to be worthy of success, that you can get good results, and that people should think of you as an expert. So it takes time, it takes money, and it takes energy. And I love the shift that is happening right now, which is I feel like people are finally saying, you know what? I just cannot work in that paradigm anymore. I can no longer stay and play in that paradigm. I'm choosing to go forward into what I know is possible. And what I see other people actually now finally beginning to offer, like this call today. And even though it's scary, even though it's uncomfortable, I'm willing to challenge all of that conditioning that I have been brought up with, that my parents have lived and experienced, and therefore passed on to me and my generation, and that until now has continued. So I'm really excited about the time it is in general. I also think this year in particular, we're going to see more so than ever. Right back in January, I did a post and I was like, there's something about this year. It's such a big year energetically. And this is going to be the year where you're going to have that choice. Do I go forward into the creation of the life I know is possible, or do I give in to the fear and the scaremongering and the lack that the world is telling me exists? So that's number one. Why now? I think this is the year that you probably have had enough of all of the bullshit that you hear on the outside, and you want to create success for yourself, and you want to start to find the people, the places, and the programs that can make it possible for you. So then, why business upgrade? Why this concept or this conversation that I want to dive into that I think is really important? Business upgrade, the program, I know it sounds very businessy. It's called Business Upgrade. And I've always talked about it and sold it as my signature business program. It is by far one of the most successful things I do. So successful that we run it not just every year, but we would do 2 rounds every year for the last 6 years. And the testimonials and success stories from this particular program just keep on coming. People keep talking about it. No matter how advanced they become in what they do, they go on, become body whispering facilitators, practitioners. They've done the program 3-4 years ago. They still talk about the results they got from the business upgrade program, right? I want to kind of peel back the layers as to why that is and why it's so important for us in this, whatever industry you're in. When I say us, people like us, I'm referring to the type of people that would have been attracted to be on this call today, to listen to this information, because it intuitively speaks to you, because you are an intuitively led being. You are a highly energetic being. You are probably in the industry where you are either full-time or part-time, want to do healing work, facilitation work, coaching work, or you want to do creative work, like you want to be your own business owner, but traditional business models do not work for you, because you walk through the world with your heart as your sensor, as the thing that's telling you what feels right to you and what doesn't. And business is an area that really we struggle in. Okay. And this is what I want to start talking about is when it comes to business, when it comes to money, how on earth, why is it that in every other area, when we are doing programs, when we go for healing or facilitation, coaching, personal development work, no matter what it is, why is it when it comes to business, we're meant to totally put aside and disregard all of our traumas, all of our past history, all of our family upbringing, and that's not a relevant conversation when it comes to business and money? And what I mean by that is, for years, I tried to understand why business didn't work for me as an intuitive healer practitioner out in the world, running a clinic, doing business, doing fairly well by some standards, but just really feeling like, why does this continue to feel so hard? And it's because when it comes to money and business, for some reason, your past is irrelevant. You're meant to suddenly understand numbers and figures, and you're meant to be confident and comfortable with putting yourself out there, feeling vulnerable, talking numbers, making sales, and totally disregarding all of the programming and conditioning that we have gone through and experienced through our family, through our parents, through our upbringing, through our past experiences, as if that stuff is not going to affect who we are and how we can show up and what we can receive when it comes to money and business. Isn't that interesting? Like when it comes to relationships, people can connect the dots and they can say, you grew up in an abusive household, so it makes sense you were abused by your father. It makes sense that you struggle in romantic relationships with men because that trauma affects how you can function and be in healthy relationships as an adult now. But I very rarely heard or saw anyone address the fact that you grew up in a household with all of this shame or conditioning around money, or you grew up in a family that highly valued being respected rather than having money. And now that you are an adult and you have your degree or you are skilled in what you do, that stuff should have no bearing on your ability to go out and run a business successfully and to make money and to have a good relationship with money. Does anyone else find that interesting? I'm finding that extremely interesting. It's like when it comes to business and money, if it doesn't work, you're doing something wrong. Like you're doing something wrong. It's a doing thing, like, oh, you don't have the right information. Oh, you need another business coach. Oh, you're not using the right formula in Excel sheets. Oh, your accounting is wrong. Oh, you need a different accountant. So here is what I've learned. Here is what moved the needle for me. Okay. What moved the needle for me and what was definitely holding me back was my past conditioning with money, my upbringing, and my points of view, both that I had, but also that my mother had, my father had, my family had around money, around business itself. Business is this huge entity that people have a lot of experiences with, points of view about, family-run businesses, bankruptcy, good memories about running a business, bad memories about running a business. We hold a lot of that trauma and stuff inside of us that we pick up on. Okay. And visibility, self-worth, self-trust, congruence, these were the things that were holding me back in my business. This was the stuff that when I got clearer and clearer and more healed in these areas, my business started to take off. My money improved. I could ask for the sale. I could make the sale. I could make more money. I had the capacity to hold more money because I wasn't scared. I wasn't shy. My nervous system wasn't going off into absolute chaos because it felt so unsafe like it first did when I had to put myself out there, when I had to sell, when I had to take one skill set, which came so easily and naturally to me, which is healing, and put it together with another skill set that was so completely foreign to me and quite masculine and very, very ordered and needing to be and look and sound a particular way when it came to selling, when it came to structuring business, when it came to having business models. It completely did not make sense. And this is why I have seen so many people struggling in what I call my industry, our industry, people like me, people like us, who don't believe that we can actually ever make more than a certain amount of money or be successful beyond a certain point. Because also until now, we had very little evidence for it. We had very few mentors. We had very few people to look up to that we could say, oh my gosh, that person is doing so well in this type of business that I am in this industry, running their business in the way that I would like to, which is congruent, which is aligned, that is energetically clean, like I feel the substance behind it. I can see how they completely resonate and are so true and authentic to the work they do in the way that they present it to the world and how they sell it. And I don't feel a massive incongruence. I don't feel like it would be going against who I am if I were to do it that way too. That we can see role models and we can see successful people in the healing and coaching and facilitation industries. This is recent. I've started seeing this in the last 2, maybe 3 years. I'm not even going to say 5 years because I've been doing the hard yards over the last 5 years and I didn't see it, 5 years ago. In the last 3 years, yes, I've been seeing it, which is fantastic, not just for our minds, but for our nervous systems, for our energetic beings that we are. That information is priceless because it's giving you evidence that this is possible for you now. How are you going to take it from something that is outside of you to now making this also your experience? So this is where business upgrade comes in. This is where this concept comes in of needing to address and work at all 3 levels of mind, body, and energy, and including not just your current situation. How many of you, when you go to a class or a coach or a facilitator, you're saying, look, I need to get to this next place. Okay, say it's in my business, or say, I want to get to this next milestone, or I want to take this step. I want to start my business, or I want to double my rates, or I want to have 10 more clients a month. How many of you are starting from that point and you're looking at where you currently are and you're only looking forward, like you're trying to figure out how to get from here to here? One of the things that we sometimes just do not do well enough is we don't look at what's actually going on, and we don't look at where the past is relevant in holding us back from the future that we would like to create. And so what I love about the Business Upgrade program and the way that it's structured is we spend the first entire half of that program working on clearing out, finding out, and getting congruent with the money blocks, the family blocks, the business blocks, the information that you didn't realize about yourself that is holding you back. You're thinking here that you're not good with money, but you haven't ever connected the dots that it was never safe for anyone in your family to hold more than a certain amount of money. Otherwise, they would lose it all or it would be taken from them. Okay, when we don't find that connected and clear it, you will always struggle to hold large amounts of money in your business. Or better yet, because we are so powerful, what we often do is we stop ourselves from even being able to bring those amounts in. And then the most frustrating thing about this is what we do is we then work harder and harder and harder. And it feels like we're working harder and harder and harder to create a smaller and smaller and smaller result. Why does it feel like we're working so hard for so little traction, so little gain? So I want to start to talk about then, okay, so what's the alternative? How do we take big steps, or at least bigger steps, and how do we get quicker results? And I think that the way we've structured the business upgrade program through evidence, okay, this is not what I could have cognitively told you a few years ago. This is what I can tell you now based on the evidence, based on the testimonials, based on the results we've seen. The way we structured the program from the beginning was you spend 3 full modules doing exercises, having coaching sessions, facilitation work, homework sessions, working through a workbook where we are going through finding out what your congruence levels are and what your blocks are energetically and physically around having a business and being successful in the business you say you want. Okay, let's start there. Okay, what is the business you say you want versus what is the business that you would be most congruent with and would energetically be your dream business that you're holding yourself back from? One of the things we do is we settle for so much less because we have been brought up to believe that this much is available, a lot less is available, rather than the more that we are truly capable of creating. It's very restrictive. It's very disempowering. And so you wonder why it also doesn't feel so exciting for you to work so hard for so little. So little, whether it's success or money or accomplishment, whatever it is that's important for you, it doesn't have to be financially driven. You may be impact driven. Your goal may be to change lives all over the world, and you're wondering why you can't even get, clients in the next neighborhood. Or your target might be to create awareness around certain topics or a certain way of being. And you're struggling because we haven't worked or you haven't uncovered your visibility blocks. And so you struggle to even talk to your best friend about what you do, let alone sell your offerings to a stranger over the internet. Yeah. So we've got to uncover this stuff. And this is why I say, isn't it just crazy that we don't think that this stuff is affecting our ability to show up in business? It's kind of, the more I talk about this on today's call, it's blowing my mind. Like, I've been doing the program myself for 6 years. I know it's a fantastic program, but I still haven't driven this point home enough, I believe, like to the rest of the world. Like, man, everyone needs this. Everyone needs to be doing this. Everyone needs to be uncovering their money blocks, their self-worth, their self-love, their previous conditioning, and their family's points of view around their beliefs, their experiences, their traumas that are affecting their relationship with money now. Who you are in this moment, how many of your past traumas and experiences are affecting how you show up when it comes to money, how you show up when it comes to business, how you show up when it comes to talking about your services and selling them, how you show up when you need to be the face or the CEO of your brand, how you show up when you need to create a brand, all of these things. So that's why we spend half of the program in Business Upgrade doing that stuff before we get into what I think is equally important, but almost worthless without the context and the foundations that you require. I can talk to you all day long about the strategy you should implement to get 10 new clients a week or 10 new clients a month, how to double your income or even 10x your income. increase your profitability. I can give you 5 strategies off the top of my head any day of the week. There's no point in that information when you don't have the foundations, you don't have the ability to hold that information, to be congruent with it, and to take that action in an aligned way. Because what will happen is you'll take the action and you'll say, oh, nothing happened, Adela, that did not work. You were wrong about that. But the reason it did not work is because we haven't increased, A, your capacity to hold and receive that change, but B, we haven't cleared out all of the stuff that's holding you back from being able to even show up and implement those things in a congruent way. Can we please acknowledge the difference between taking an action for the sake of taking an action with all mind, body, and energy congruent with that choice? How many of you guys know that difference? You know what that feels like. You know what it feels like when you're going through the motions and you're doing something, but you really don't even believe in yourself it's going to work, versus you do something and you are there completely committed, mind, body, and energy. It feels good in your energy. You're excited about it. You're happy about it. You're calm in your physical body about it because it feels safe. And cognitively, you're like, yes, I know this is going to work because, or at least I feel really good about this working. Let me give you a completely unrelated example. Have you guys ever worked out at a gym or worked with a personal trainer or done any sort of training, and they've told you to think about, to tap into the part of your body? So for example, if you're doing squats, they'll tell you to think about your glutes, think about your butt when you're doing squats. They say, if you're doing hamstring curls, connect what's called the mind-body connection. They say, think about your hamstrings, pay attention to that part of your body that you are using, and create that muscle memory, create that mind-body connection. Why? Because there is evidence, there is an actual difference in the results you get at the gym when you sit on that hamstring curl machine and you just do 10 hamstring curls versus you sit on that hamstring curl machine, you think about, you absolutely tap in, tune into your hamstrings. Every single rep you are connected and you're envisioning that muscle movement and you're thinking about the results you're going to get when you're consistently showing up and taking that action at the gym. There is a completely different result that is created. You guys know the difference between a good workout, you know, when you're like, man, that was a great workout. I was really present. I was really connected. As opposed to I did a workout, I was thinking about, you know, my family the whole time. I was thinking about how I'm going to be late for dinner. I was thinking about how I'm really tired and I'm not really feeling like doing this workout today. It's a completely different experience. And if you put those experiences together over an extended period of time, you get completely different results. And there are people doing this. And so now bringing that example back to business, there are people doing this in their business every day, showing up in those 2 different ways. And you see one person starting to become really successful and have their business take off. And you see another person getting more and more frustrated because they're doing the equivalent of showing up to the gym every day, but really not being there in all levels of mind, body, and energy, and really not focusing on what's required to create the results that they so desire. And that becomes very frustrating. Again, same analogy. How frustrating is it when you've gone to the gym for 3 months, 6 months, and you don't see a change? Extremely frustrating. What happens next? You give up. You go, well, the gym hasn't worked for me. I've worked so hard for 6 months. I went to the gym 3 times a week. I watched what I ate. I did everything right, and it didn't work. What's the point? And the business equivalent of that is, what's the point? I might as well go back to working for somebody else or doing something I don't like, because at least it brings in consistent income. Or let me go back to believing what I was told by my partner, my parents, my friends, all of my naysayers, which is that will never work. Why would you want to go out on your own? Why would you want to start your own business? It's so hard. The economy is bad, rada, rada, rada. And let me go back to feeling limited and disempowered, because at least that is a familiar reality. At least it's predictable. At least it feels comfortable, because even though I don't like it, I know what to expect. I didn't mean I didn't mean for this to come out so doom and gloom today. It's coming out that way because I'm so incredibly, like, I don't even know what the word is. It's beyond passionate. It's like I care about this so immensely because I see how much it hurts people. And I will never forget, sometimes you have light bulb moments, and this was quite a few years ago, but I was in a one-on-one session with a naturopath at that time. And this naturopath who, professionally, when you met this person, she was so warm and so great, so good at her job, and such a talented person who genuinely wanted to help people. She loved her job and she wanted to help people. She was having sessions with me because of this money situation. I'm a fully qualified naturopath. I even have work, like multiple work in good clinical settings. I've got great opportunities, and yet I'm so bad with money. I've continued to be bad with money. My business doesn't seem to take off, and I can never seem to get out of this rut that I have been in what feels like my whole life, even though I thought once I graduated as a naturopath and had the title and had the clinic and had the work experience, that this would magically go away. Because believe me, I thought that too. Everyone I know thinks that the magic bullet is you needed the qualification, the certificate, the title, and if you do it for long enough, there's, of course, you're going to be successful. And she's sitting there and she's telling me about her past and her past abuse, her past trauma, how she's never felt safe with money. She's never had more than a certain amount of money. And the light bulb that went off in my head, not about those two things, but the fact that she was a typical client for me. The people that I attract the most are people who are normally in the healing industries or healing fields, whether they're professionals like naturopaths, acupuncture, chiropractors, physios, medical doctors, or they're people that have been drawn to the alternative or energetic healing modalities around the world. And they come and they have these sessions, or they've worked with me in various ways. And I realized that these were the people that I had as my greatest percentage of clients. They were people just like me who truly were just such good people. I would go to them as professionals in a heartbeat. They were so good at what they do. And yet they struggled internally so immensely with their own traumas. They struggled so much to make the money stuff work, to make the business part of what they did work, because we are not hardwired or probably soft wired until we clear all of the conditioning from this lifetime to actually be successful in that area. And that is what makes us such great healers. That is what makes us so good at our jobs, but it doesn't make us good at business. And so the number of people, including some of my best friends who are amazing chiropractors or energy workers around the world, who have really shitty relationships with money, but are the most amazing healers or practitioners that you will find. There are so many of those stories and so many of those individuals I have met through my work and in my personal life. That is why Business Upgrade was created, and that is what I'm so passionate about. That is what I care so deeply about, because you guys are the people that are doing the most for the world, and you guys are the people suffering the most, because it is our stories of self-worth, self-confidence, not willing to be visible, not being able to get over our past traumas, our family's conditioning, the lies that have been perpetuated on us about the industries that we are in, the healer's wounds that we have, that just hold us back so much. 10 years on, 10 years into practice, still struggling with that stuff. 15 years, 20 years. How many of you know an amazing healer who still struggles financially in their life? How many of you are an amazing healer that still struggles financially in your life, or a coach or a practitioner? Or, and it's not just about money, like I want to bring in that confidence piece. I want to bring in that congruence piece, right? A lot of you are in corporate. I've worked with so many people in corporate doing this work on the side, and you would love to do this work full time, but gosh, it is so scary and seems almost impossible to leave your corporate safe regular paycheck job to do this work when it's so unpredictable. Working for yourself is a completely different ball game to being an employee, and you can take the same role and the same tasks, and if you do them when you work for someone else, it's great. When you need to do it because you're running your own business, suddenly all of the self-worth issues, all of the confidence issues, all of the, am I doing this right? Why is this not working? Can I charge this much? Am I worthy of charging this much? Why won't anyone pay me? They used to pay me twice this when I worked for somebody else. All of that comes up, okay? Because running your own business is completely different, because all of the self-worth stuff comes up to when we worked for other people, when we had somebody else's business that was kind of the name and the reputation that was at stake. It's completely different. Okay, so let's get into this experience, because what I wanted to do today was have you guys experience what it's like when we do hit all three levels of mind, body, and energy in one exercise. All right, so let's do a little experiential thing since this is called the experience. So no matter who you are and what stage of having a business or having a desire, whether it's business related or not, it might be in an idea form right now, or it might be quite tangible for you right now, meaning you might have come to this call today, you're already working, you're already doing the work you love, but you really are struggling to get to a certain level. Maybe it's money related, maybe it's visibility related, maybe it's confidence or mindset related. Or for those of you who are starting out and you're like, I would love to start to do some of my own work, but I'm not sure where to start. What I want you all to do is think about the outcome. I want you to think about basically your desire. What is it? Is it to make a certain amount of money a month? Is it to have X number of clients a month? Is it to go out and start your own business? Is it to feel confident talking about or sharing your business? Is it to be able to make enough money doing what you love doing to replace your full-time corporate income? Think about this. Okay. Does everyone have something? You can do a thumbs up on the screen if you're ready. Yeah? Got something? Cool. Okay. Now, I want you to think about this, continue to think about this. I want you to really imagine going through this. I want you to take this from a concept to an experience. So it's happening right now. You've just doubled your income. You've just opened your own business. You've just realized that it's possible for you to fully replace your corporate income with the money you make in your business. You've realized that you can finally feel confident talking about what you do and sharing it with your family and friends that you've been hiding it from, saying, guess what? I'm actually a healer and I'm very, very skilled at what I do. Okay. Now, I want you to take notice of what's happening in your body. Did your heart rate increase? Did it decrease? Do you feel a sense of foreboding, or do you feel a sense of expansion through your chest? How does your gut feel? Did your shoulders tense up, or did they relax down? Does your head feel heavy? Does it feel clear? Do you feel energetically aligned with this, or do you feel very far away from that reality? Very much like you're going in the opposite direction, or you're on a different track altogether. I want you to become aware of, in that split second, you would have had so many subconscious thoughts come up that you are not even aware of. But I want you to do a little detective work, and I want you to look at, and I want you to examine the cognitive thoughts as well as the subconscious thoughts that you had about that thing happening or coming true. What was the negative self talk? What was the positive self talk, if there was any? What was the point of view? Was it like, this is never going to happen? This is going to take me another 10 years. I'm going to have to work so hard for this. I don't know anyone that's done this. I don't know if this is possible for me. You're dreaming. You're silly. What was it? What was the subconscious conditioning? So at the back of your mind, do you have your mother's voice, or your father's voice, or your grandfather's voice, or an old mentor, somebody, or your friends, your colleagues, people that you currently still look to for validation? Did their voice or their silent judgment crop up that you're always aware of but have never paid attention to? Yeah. Yeah. It, if you live in a particular country, a particular area, if you're from a particular community or demographic, it's so hard for me to do that. It's impossible for me to do that. I can't do that. Women can't do that. Females can't do that. People from my caste can't do that. People from my community would never condone that. All of the things, let them come up. This is the always the not so fun part. We're sitting in this pool of muck for a few minutes, okay? We're sitting in this pool of muck because it's important, A, because I need your body to regulate even in what I call the shit. Like, I need your body to get out of the fight or flight that actually gets activated, whether you recognize it or not, when you think about these things. And then I'm going to get your body and your system and your energy to start to regulate. And then we're going to start moving towards the thing that you would like to create. So we get real. We get very real with the things that we actually believe in this little period here. This is where all of the muck comes up. And normally, what we do in life, what do you guys normally do when something comes up that you don't want to look at, when something feels uncomfortable? We normally do whatever we can to very quickly brush it away, to very quickly distract ourselves. That might mean you pick up your phone and you jump on TikTok or Instagram. That might mean that you call a friend. That might mean that you turn on the TV. That might mean that you brush it off and go, oh, I don't need to spend time thinking about this. This is silly. Of course, I can do this. But when we try to override using just cognitive, so when we try to mentally override a very physical and energetic reality that we are experiencing, you're doing this thing where you're actually working against yourself, like you are your worst enemy. And the equivalent of that would be like you're in your business or you're in your life, even, and you're trying to move forward. So you're putting your foot on the accelerator, you're putting your foot on the speed so you can speed ahead. And at the same time, your other foot is hitting the brake. You've got the stop, you've got the go happening at the same time. Okay. And you feel stuck. You feel stuck. I know it's not a nice feeling. I know how frustrating it is. But what we do in that moment is we try to do whatever we can to get out of that feeling, that get out of that yuckiness. And we often will use distraction or what I call band-aid solutions, rather than going deep into what's required to move forward. So band-aid solutions can look very productive. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to run some Facebook ads. I need to do some networking. I need to show up on Facebook Live 3 times this week. Productive, cool, but we're ignoring the major incongruences and all of the information you've just received as to why your body and your energy does not feel safe moving forward in your business in the way that you would like to. So you show up on Facebook 3 times live that week, you spend money on Facebook ads, you go to 2 more networking events, and you're wondering why you're getting very little return on investment for all of this wonderful action you're taking. Okay. All right, we've sat in this pool of yuck for long enough. Okay, so see how we're starting to get a little bit okay with that. Now, I want you to become aware of your mind, your body, and energy in this moment. Okay, I'd like you to take 3 deep breaths in and out. You might want to write this next. If you get action steps, you might want to write this down. I'm going to ask you to go through the 3 levels of mind, body, and energy. From this safe space, I'm going to ask you to write down from the depths of your awareness, from the whispers of your soul talking to you, from your connection and awareness as you work through this feeling of unsafety coming into safety and coming into awareness. Okay, because from awareness we can create. I would like you to ask, what is the next step I can take to support my body in creating my business and to creating the outcome that you wanted? So you remember the desire you had that created this response. So now I want you to ask, okay, what is the one step I can take? What is the one thing I can do that's actually going to help me create in a way that would be congruent with creating this desire, bringing it into physical actualization? So you might realize you need to stop ignoring when your heart starts beating really fast and your throat dries up and you do not want to speak about your business. Maybe you need to start to pay attention to what your body is telling you and realize your body doesn't feel safe being seen when it comes to this area of your life, and we need to do some healing work around this. Okay. The next thing I want you to ask is, what is the step I can take? What do I need to do to become energetically congruent with this desire? And then finally, I'd like you to ask, what do I need to believe? This is the cognitive mind. We allow our minds to work against us a lot of the time, but we can also conversely harness the power of our minds. So I'm going to ask you, what do you need to believe? What would you need to believe in order for this desire to come true? So if your desire was to double your income, you might actually realize you need to actually believe that you can have that much money in your bank account and that you would be responsible with that amount of money. Maybe you need to believe that people are going to really believe that I'm worthy of being paid that much. Maybe you need to believe that you have the capacity to do those extra sessions to hold the space for 10 extra clients. Maybe you already feel stressed in your body, feel like you're always behind, feel like you don't have enough time for your business, for your family, to do all the things you want. So how can you then fit in 10 extra clients in order to double your income? See the incongruences here? So what would you need to believe that you can do, that you can be, that you can hold, that you can serve, that you can deliver in order for this desire to actually be able to come true? Okay. Here's an additional question. What do I require in order to feel supported, in order to be supported in making this desire or this target or ask that I have, for that to come true? What would I require to feel and to be supported in making this turn into a reality? All right. So we're going to go now to back to you tapping into. I want you to really tap into that initial idea, desire, ask, target that you had. What was it? What is the thing you would like to create or achieve or receive? Think about it. Really feel it in your body, feel it in your mind, feel it in your energy. Now, you've just been made aware of three things, at least in mind, body, and energy, that were holding you back from having congruence with creating that with ease. Okay. So now, even though it might still not feel completely possible by tomorrow, it should feel a little bit more congruent. It should feel a little bit more possible. You should feel a little bit like, hey, I just uncovered this pesky belief that was working against me this whole time that I didn't even know was there. So how liberating is that? Yeah. Now, there are still going to be very physical things for some of you. Some of you have said, I'm in a particular country, I'm from a particular community, I come from a family with these beliefs that really hold me back from being able to create what I would like to create. I want to reinforce for you guys how much the impossible is possible if we spend and dedicate all of our time, energy, and beliefs into creating it. It is completely doable. I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest thing you've ever done, but what I will say is actually it's probably easier than you think. Because one of the main things that happens in our lifetimes is we think it's going to be so hard to do things that we don't challenge it. We don't challenge the status quo. So we have hundreds of thousands of people, and we are surrounded by hundreds of thousands of people. The majority of the population doesn't dedicate itself to creating the life that they would like to have because they just believe it would be too hard. And so there's no point in even trying. And what I want to bring to your attention is that, man, if you were to put in at least some effort, because most people put in zero, you would start to create a different life. And if you actually dedicated your mind, body, and energy, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions to creating the life you would like to, you would create a life and a business that is so far beyond what you initially thought was possible, no matter who you are and what circumstances you are in. It is possible. And we need to start with, sometimes we need to start with the easiest or a very small thing. So no matter where you are in your journey, whether you want to get to you want to get to $10,000 months, you want to get to 50 clients a month, or you want to just start your business, or you want to trust yourself enough to at least start doing it on the side, the work that you love. I just want you to know, first of all, and to remember that it's possible for you, because if it wasn't possible, it wouldn't even be on your radar. It would not be in your heart. It would not be at the back of your mind. You would not have that little inkling that you wanted to do this thing. So now all you need to do is dedicate yourself to getting there. So I want to bring your awareness back now to the business upgrade program and how we, just like we did in this exercise, we need to work through all three levels of mind, body, and energy. And then the other thing that I think is so brilliant about the business upgrade program is the fact that it's quite structured when it comes to going through the modules. Because the modules are the things that statistically, I know after over a decade of working with people in this niche, the modules are based on the exact topics that people struggle with the most. And we spend a full module, so a live module. By the way, this is a program that is priced at a price point that it absolutely no doubt should be like a video. It should be an online program, not a live program. Okay. I show up and do the modules live with you. Every fortnight, we have a live session, and you have 2 weeks between each module to do the homework, to work through your modules, and to do the exercises. So you have dedicated 2 weeks to work on a particular topic. And the reason I think that works so well is another form of distraction is not spending the time that we need to go deep enough into the areas that we wish to change. And that's the difference between a class or a one-off session versus this program. It's 6 modules over 3 months with a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group for support in between the live sessions, so you can continue to work and process, receive support. And each module are the particular topics I know you have the most stuff to work on. I know no matter who you are, that you need to work on money. Even if you're a millionaire, we still work on money. I promise you. Right? I know you need to work on family, because no matter how much work you've done on family, there's still stuff from your family, your upbringing, and your community that's holding you back. I know that you could be doing more when it comes to visibility and marketing. I know that you probably require structure when it comes to sales and setting up your systems for booking clients, retaining clients, leveraging what you offer, and making it work for you so you're not burnt out. And I know that there's work for you to do in making that shift into being the leader of your life and being a conscious entrepreneur. These are the modules in Business Upgrade, and they work fantastically. All right. what I wanted to kind of start wrapping up on, but I'm definitely going to open up for questions in just a minute. I want to bring your attention to the fact that this year, for the first time, we've created an extended payment plan offer. It's $99 a month. All right. I wanted to make that something that hopefully makes it even more accessible. So the pay in full price is amazingly cheap. It's always, I have not raised the price on this. It's $799. It has been that price for years. And you pay in full. That is the price. You get instant access to everything in that program. There's two other payment plans, the 3-month payment plan and the 10-month payment plan. Those two things give you the ability to join no matter who you are, and even if you're just starting out in your business, even if you're still trying to find this cash, hopefully you can find $99 a month or $25 a week to be able to take part in this program. I think we will post the link. So, Rashmi's posted it here. So you can click on that link, you can register. The last thing you probably need to know or want to know is that the program starts on Wednesday, on the 15th. Okay, so we're doing this call, so you've got a few days to think about it. But the sooner you join, the sooner you can access the bonus materials, look at the workbook, and then not miss out on any of the live modules. If you're finding this later on, if you're listening to this recording in the future, don't worry. You can still join the program. Every program recording is available to you with lifetime access, and they're just as effective. I recommend you re-listen to Business Upgrade as often as you can. Shalu, you have a question?
Actually, not a question. I just want to kind of share my experience of the Business Upgrade. I've done it twice, and I just want to share with anyone who's never done it that it's definitely a walk to money. I say that because I've done both the business upgrades, I've done business whispering, and I've done wealth whispering, and I'm in the midst of ascension. And I definitely know my entire money reality has changed. It's shifted like no man's business. So if you're thinking, if you're on the fence or anything, it's definitely a go-to. I also find, what Adila was talking about in the class, it's got a lot to do with our own money beliefs, our own limitations that we've grown up with, not even realizing that we have those limitations. And a lot of those beliefs aren't even ours. Those are beliefs that we've learned, that we've borrowed, that we've been conditioned to, and so on and so on. And so when you go through the business upgrade program, a lot of that stuff just starts to melt away. And of course, it's because you are working on yourself, not because it's melting away in vaporizing in thin air. But it's because you're working on yourself in a very structured manner. You've got a goal. You're putting it through. It works so subtly, but so surely. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Charlotte, for sharing. And the way those two modules are structured, the money one immediately followed by the family one, there is overlap. The overlap is created to create the depth in not only uncovering your money blocks. How many of our money blocks are actually our mother's money blocks, our father's money blocks, even our grandfather's money blocks? We clear and undo so much of that in these programs and in this the clearing that we do in those two particular modules. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Meher?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
Good. It's been a while that I haven't told you that I genuinely adore you. And thank you for all these beautiful programs you come up with. And I've never done a business upgrade, but I've done wealth whispering, I've done body whispering, I've done certified body whispering. Every time I've done a session, every time I've done a course, it's just expanded my life beautifully. There's only one question that I have about the business upgrade is, yes, I know we'll be doing a lot of energy work and shift, but during the sessions, are there any cognitive ideas about how do you take the business to the next level and what can we add and what is missing? Is it going to be a part of the 2 lives that you would be doing in the month, or it's mostly going to be a lot of energetic shift and work?
Okay, thank you for this question. I'm so sorry if it wasn't clear. So the program is very distinct almost. It's 50-50. It's one of the things that I love about it the most. So even and through every module, even when we're doing energetic work, there's very practical things we're doing to get your business off the ground. Because literally, I've had people come to do this program. They come with an idea or the business they want to start. And from module 1, it's the congruence module. We create congruence with the business that they wish to create, the business idea they have, the practical things they require. Now, the last 3 modules are sales and marketing. Systems and strategies to scale your business, and community outreach and conscious leadership. Those are very practical modules, and we literally work on the marketing tools, tips, and exercise, like physical action for you to take between one session to the next to move the needle forward physically in your business.
Thank you.
So people literally start making more money during the course. Like they implement what I'm teaching between module to module. So you're not waiting for like some time in the future, hopefully this program pays off and I have a return on investment. No, it's very practical, Meher, I promise you, because that was my desire, because I have done so much energy work and healing, and then I needed the practical component, because they don't teach you that in chiropractic college or Reiki workshop or whatever modality you've learned. And so we need to bring together the practical with the energetic.
Another question I had was, can anybody join this business upgrade? People who are not into energy work also, like a proper cognitive business people will.
Yeah, so the niche for this, my expertise is working with service-based business owners. So if they're service-based business owners, that is who this is for. So I say to people, look, I'm really good. All of my coaching clients, private clients, we're either working with people or we're in the service-based industry. So accountants, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, people who are providing a service. So this will work for anyone who's in the service-based industry. And they don't need to be energetically, they don't need to be into a lot of woo-woo or energy work, but they do need to be willing to like work on the blocks that are going to come up so that they can receive the benefits of the first half of the program.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. What other questions do you guys have? What else do you require? Is there anything that is unclear or you think would be really helpful for you to know about this program? The program's going to be running, like I said, from the 15th of March. There is a fortnightly live session. In between those sessions, there is a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group for ongoing support. And we have the workbook, of course. We have other bonus materials in your folder. And this will continue through. So 3 months will take you through March, April, May. We'll be finishing up, I think it's the end of May. So it's 3 months to really focus on creating the foundation for the rest of your life. Like I said, we've had people repeat this program, and I continue to have testimonials from this program from people that have done it years ago. Yeah, Kanika's saying she's got no marketing, she has no systems in place. Yeah, we need systems, guys. And I make systems as fun as possible. People get freaked out about 3 words in our industry. One is sales, one is marketing, and the other is systems, because they think it means making things very concrete, making things super controlled and uniform. No, systems is about how to have your business set up so you don't get burnt out, how to be able to do things in the easiest way possible because you've got a system for it. When a new client contacts you, this is what happens. This is how you rebook them easily. It's not automation. It's just a system that works for you. Your system for you might be writing down that, writing a note in your phone, or at least putting all of your, allocating, there's different days of the week that you do different things on. But I see most people in our industry when they first start just operating from general chaos, and they really struggle to scale their business. When I say scale, I mean we can function with no systems when we have 1 to 10 clients. We can even do it up to 15, though it starts getting messy. You start dropping the ball, invoices don't get paid, you forget about things. You can't see more than that, and you can't grow your income beyond that without systems and without a way for you to have a predictable and dependable way to create results in your business and to look after yourself and to have boundaries. So it's not about, computerized automation. It's not about even needing to hire more people to do these things for you. It's just about really simple strategies for you to start to feel really confident in your business. Because you will struggle if you don't have a system. It is a mess. Your sales, your invoicing, you might be invoicing one person straight after their session, another person you forget to invoice for 2 weeks, then they don't pay you for another 2 weeks, then you have to remember to chase them up. You can't grow your business that way. You can't scale your business that way. So these are all of the things we go into, because like I said, I really care about you guys having successful businesses in this industry, because this is my industry. This is the industry where I care about you guys having a good quality of life and being able to believe that we can do the work that we love and be successful in it. Because when one of us rises, actually it rises for the whole industry. I care about the reputation that we all have in this industry. I want us all to have high quality of business operations and high standards, and for people to look at what we do and go, wow, yeah, that's a great industry to be a part of. That is a profitable industry to be part of. That is a growing industry to be part of, not what it has been over the last decade. Oh, energy work. I don't think you can make money doing that. Oh, is that a side hobby? Oh, I don't think you can have that as your full-time job. That's not what I'm interested in. That's not been my reality, and I'm really excited about helping you change your reality with this. And I promise we're going to be hitting it at all angles: mind, body, energy, mindset, practical questions, the things you need to do in between. So jump on to that page. The link is going to be available for you below in the description and the replay notes. And I will be kicking off the first live module Wednesday, the 15th of March. Everyone that's been here today and joined me live for this call, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Everyone that's watching the replay, I hope you're enjoying it just as much. And no matter who you are and where you are, I hope that you find the support, the mentorship, and the information that you require, no matter what point or part of creating your life and creating your business you are currently in. Meher, did you have another question?
Yeah, a very small one. I just want to know, what are the timings of the call?
So the timings, we've done them to be as globally friendly as possible. I believe it is 10:30 India time, 9 a.m. I think that would be Dubai time. It's 6 p.m. New Zealand time.
Thank you.
A little bit earlier than the call we had today. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will sign off, but all of the information, the payment plan options, the ability to join, to get access to all of the bonus materials, it's at this link here, okay? Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining. See you next time.